this statement of the violence that took place at the Jubilee Lounge at the airport on the 14th day of January 2025. Mr. Speaker, the director in charge of the lounge, popularly known as the Jubilee Lounge, Mr. George Boateng, on the said day was conducting his usual duties, and soon after the departure of His Excellency the President to Dubai, some thugs jammed the gates and attacked him until he became unconscious. He is an officer of the state. He had the firm instructions of the Chief of Staff to hold on till a replacement was made. In other words, he was told to hold on to up to 31st of January, when a replacement will be made, a new person will be appointed. So he was only waiting to do a formal handing over. Mr. Speaker, as you've rightly said, what happened on the 7th of January was a regular election in our country, a change of government, a new party has taken over, and that is democracy. We must not allow some thugs within our ranks to do that which will jeopardize the future of democracy in our country. I take this opportunity to call on all political leaders in our country to take time, educate the youth, encourage them to be lawful, and avoid taking the law into their own hands. Mr. George Boateng is a Ghanaian like all of us. It is true that the government that appointed him is no more, but there is a need for a smooth transition, a transition that will allow the new officer to take over from him. But whilst I'm at this, Mr. Speaker, let me also thank the military men on duty that day for their peaceful intervention. But for them, perhaps Mr. George Boateng would have lost his life. Watching the pathetic video, their intervention helped to save the life of our dear brother George Boateng. I pray that a thing like this never happens again in our country. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, I would want this House to take a strong stance to ferry a resolution to the executive to the effect that all must be done in ensuring that, if possible, an enactment is brought to this House, a bill is brought to this House for an enactment that will deal with issues such as what has happened in a post-election era. Ghana is all we have. We do not have to jeopardize our democracy. And our conduct as political leaders must also give a positive signal to our citizens that we are here as brothers and sisters. We are not here to fight. We don't demand for power to unleash violence, but we demand for power for development. Mr. Speaker, without more, I would want to thank you for this treasured space, and I pray that the needful will be done to safeguard our democracy and to assure every citizen that the change of power does not call for violence. Thank you very much, sir.